Good afternoon. My name is Brian Olson, manager of the Monsanto Water Utilization Learning Center in Gothenburg, Nebraska, and today I want to talk to you about some corn product characterization that we're doing at our variable rate irrigation sites located throughout the Great Plains. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about when I say variable rate irrigation sites, first of all, we've got 6 locations where we have these capabilities set up. As you can see here, we've got 3 in Nebraska, up at Battle Creek, Nebraska, down in Bruning, and then over here in Gothenburg. And then we've got 2 in Kansas, 1 at Mingo, Kansas, and 1 down by Garden City. And then a 6th one is out in Bethune, Colorado. So to give you an idea of what we can do with these variable rate irrigation sites, here we've got a location that is typical at Bethune, Colorado, where we've got 100% full irrigation that meets the needs of the crop, so there's no stress on that crop. And then we got 50% full irrigation. And so as the pivot goes across that field, it is putting on 100% full irrigation, and then when it comes to this area indicated by the yellow, it either switches off or reduces the amount of irrigation applied, and therefore we're only putting on over the growing season half the amount of water that we would in the blue area, which is again the 100% full irrigation. So to give you an idea of some of the research that we're conducting at these sites and how it can help you or a farmer, this study is looking at corn product performance influenced by seeding rate and irrigation rate. Here we looked at 21 corn products at the Gothenburg research site, but again, we've got similar research at the other locations. And so with these 21 corn products were put out at, you can see here, 24, 30, 36, and 42,000 seeds per acre. At 2 irrigation environments, we had 100% full irrigation and then 50% full irrigation. How did the corn products respond to these different environments? So again, going across the top here, we got 24, 30, 36, and 42,000 seeds per acre. And then you can see for each corn product, we have the average of what it yielded across the 2 different environments. But then we also have it broke out 100% full irrigation and 50% full irrigation. So you can see here I've got a corn product, 106 RMB, highlighted at 100% full irrigation. And you can see that we have a nice stair-step increase in yield from 102 bushels per acre at the 24K up to 223, 235, and 243 at 42,000. Then when you come down here to the 110 RMA at the 100% full irrigation, it goes from 219, 245, 261, and 253. So this corn product tops out at that 36,000 seeds per acre. So again, good information for our farmers to know. In this table, you can see that I've got 2 corn products highlighted. We've got 115 and 116 RM. Both of these corn products did very well. At the 100% full irrigation, went from 232 at 24K all the way up to 274 at 42K. And then the 116 RM went from 234 up to 294. But you look here, when we've got these lower irrigation environments, we're still yielding very well. So the 115 RM, the average is 253 bushels per acre across those different seeding rates at the 100% full irrigation, and it was 239 at the 50% full irrigation. Also, the 116 RM was 262 on average across those seeding rates and 244 at the 50% full irrigation. So both of these corn products are doing very well at the better irrigation environment, but then also doing very well when we've got reduced amounts of water. There's a pretty tight grouping here. You compare this to some of the other corn products, for example, this 114 RMA that's above it, or this corn product, you can see a pretty significant difference in how it's responding across those 2 irrigation environments, with a 255 on average at the 100% full irrigation and a 219 at the 50% full irrigation. So here's another study where we looked at the impact of irrigation environment on corn product performance. And we had 4 irrigation environments, 100%, 70, 50, and 20% full irrigation. and you can see the corresponding irrigation amounts. The 100% we put on 6 inches, all the way down to the 20% where we only put on 1.2 inches of irrigation water. In this study, we had 115 corn products ranging from 101 to 116 RM, seeded at 34,000 seeds per acre. So here you can see that we've got a couple corn products, this 105 RM-A, the 110 RM-B, and the 113 RM-A. These corn products have some pretty good consistency across the different irrigation environments. You know, when we're getting out here at the 20% full irrigation, that's getting pretty dry, but these highlighted corn products are doing still fairly well in those drier environments. Compare that to the 108 here, where you start off at 231 bushels per acre, and then it drops off to 168 bushels per acre at the 20% full irrigation. So again, depending upon how dry the environment is, you know, for example, if you've got a pivot that is somewhat limited, you might want to look at these 70% full irrigation as being representative on how the corn products are going to respond. But if you've got a pivot that is basically just providing windshield wiping across that field and is really, you know, 200 gallons per minute on a 126 acre pivot, the 20% full irrigation might be one that you want to look at with respect to how the corn products responded, because again, you're not getting a lot of water, additional water out of that pivot to meet the needs of the crop. The purpose of these studies is to provide you, our customer, with more information on how these corn products are going to respond to irrigation, and then also how a seeding rate can also impact that. And so please check with the different brands that Monsanto has. So DeKalb, Fontanelle, and Channel all have their branded corn product information across these different sites. And so here you'll see that we've got, again, different branded information for Channel, DeKalb, and Fontanelle, for Bruning, for Bethune and Mingo, and for Gothenburg, and all the other sites variable rate irrigation sites that we discuss. So please check with the technical agronomists for those different brands, or the district sales managers, and they'll tell you how their branded corn products did in these variable rate irrigation site tests. So with that, I want to thank you for your time and going through what we're doing to try to characterize our corn products in order for you, our farmer, to be successful with them. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you later.
For more information on this topic, you can download the Monsanto Irrigation Handbook for the Great Plains by using the following address. This video was produced by the Monsanto Water Utilization Learning Center.